Right. Have you opened your module? This module. You got third module, right? Did you open it? When boys and girls, you just open the module 3, the page number I'm saying. Page number 167. Page number 167. Module 3, page number 167. You open everyone. So this weekend you have, this coming Sunday you have tests. The test portion is dual nature and atom. So atoms 20% will come, dual nature 80% it will come. So remember, so the doubts of dual nature will discuss now. Before that, yesterday exam, whatever the doubts are there, you just see and send it to me for the tomorrow doubt session I will discuss. Today we will continue with the dual nature only. So whatever the doubts you have in your exam, so the question number with the pick, you can send it to the group. Tomorrow I will discuss. Not now. After the class, you can send to me. You can think carefully and send whatever the doubts you have from question paper. Now we will discuss the question from dual nature. Correct? Clear? Right, look here. So basically in dual nature and radiation, we have two. One is photoelectric effect concept we have. Other one is matter waves we have. So in page number 167. 167. Some questions are there, you see. Question page number 167. Page number 167. Topic 1. Okay. Question number 1, you see. When subjected to transverse electric field, cathode rays, basically cathode rays are negative charge. Cathode rays are negative charge. Electric field, it is transverse. Which direction it will move? Down to the electric potential gradient, up to the potential gradient, parabolic path, angular circular path, they're given. Basically electric field. So electron has negative charge is there. For example, first question you see, electric field is this side is there. Assume that electric field is this side. So cathode rays basically electron beam, right? So electric field is there this side. Suppose electron is moving here. So electron will experience the force this side. Correct? But electric field generally it will be present from higher potential to lower potential. Higher potential to lower potential. So electric field generally high potential to low potential will be present. Correct? Then electron moving from where to where? Opposite to electric field, because electron has negative charge, opposite negative force will experience. So negative side it will experience. So opposite to electric field, that means lower to higher. Lower to higher. Lower to higher means up to the potential gradient, up the potential gradient. That is increasing potential order. Increasing potential order. Clear? Electron move from lower potential to higher potential. Nothing but towards higher potential is moving. Towards higher potential is moving. Correct? Question number clear, everyone? Tell me, is it clear? Question number 1. Next, question number 2. From the following, what charges can be present in oil drop Millicon experiment? Actually, Millicon oil drop experiment is said that charge of electron only found. We calculated the charge of electron, basically, oil drop experiment. Charge of electron is calculated or specific charge calculated. Basically, specific charge means charge by mass. This is basically called specific charge. The ratio of charge to mass is called specific charge. We call experimentally found that the E by M ratio by oil drop or Millicon oil drop experiment, he got this charge. So oil drop experiment is what? Find the following, the charges can be present in oil drop Millicon experiment. Alpha particle 0 equal to the magnitude of charge of alpha particle. Charge of electron is found actually. Charge of electron. Charge of electron only is found. Third question you see. The specific charge of electron is. Specific charge of electron means E by M 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 by 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31. Minus 31. So this is basically minus 12 will come. So numerator it become 1.6 into 10 to the power of 12 by 9.1. Okay. Or you can write 16 into 10 to the power of 12 by 9.1. So 1 point something will get in 10 to the power of 11. Clear? So nearly answer is C option. C is correct. Fourth one you see. A beam of electron is moving with a constant velocity in a region having electric and magnetic field of strength 20. Electric field strength is given 20 volt per meter. Magnetic field strength is given 0.5 Tesla. Okay. At right angles to the direction of motion of the electrons. 0.5 is right angle to the direction of electric. So what is the velocity of electron they are asking? What is the velocity of electron means you know that whenever a charged particle moving in a combined electric and magnetic field, so the ratio of electric field to magnetic field is the ratio of ratio only will give the velocity E by B. So E is 20 by B 0.50. So it become how much? 5 by 20, 40 meter per second. Correct? 40 meter per second. Fourth one. Then fifth question you see. The radius of orbital electron in hydrogen atom is 0.5 angstrom. The speed of the electron is given. Then the current in the loop due to motion of the electron is. Radius is given. Charge of electron is given. Look here, just general concept only. See, in a circular orbit, an electron is moving here. This electron will crosses this point when it is going like this with the radius r. One electron is travel around the circular path and come back to the same point. That means this point will meet the electron every after one circle. So in rotational current we call rotational motion currents basically. So current basically charge by time, Q by T. But here Q by T is the time period, T. One revolution. So T is equal to, we can write distance by speed. So 2 pi r is the circumference completely. By speed is V. So if I substitute, the current will get it as Q upon T, that is 2 pi r into V. So here electron is given. Charge is what? Electron. Radius is given. Speed of electron is given. So current they want to find, simple. So I is equal to charge of electron 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. Speed of electron 2 into 10 to the power of 6 by 2 into 3.14 into R is given 0.5 angstrom. Angstrom means 10 to the power of minus 10. So we can simplify, you'll get the answer. 10 power minus 10 minus 19. Minus 9 will be left. Plus 6 minus 9. Minus 3 will be left. So what will be 1.6 into 2? 3.2 into 10 power minus 3 divided by 0.5, 2 cancel out because 0.5 is 1 by 2, 2 cancel out. So 3.14. So nearly 1 into 10 to the power minus 3 will come. Current, amperes. Nearly 1 ampere. Clear? 1 milliampere. 10 power minus 3 is there, na? 1 milliampere. Tell me, student, up to 5 question. 1 to 5, any doubt is there? Tell me 1 to 5, any doubt? Simple question only. This is simple electromagnetic waves you studied here. E by B is a velocity. Their radiation is traveling E by B. Here electron is traveling E by B. Velocity of electron or their velocity of light. So rotational current is general concept only. Clear? Tell me the boys and girls, everyone, is it clear up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? All 5 questions are clear. All 5 questions are clear or not? Tell me. So note down. Next question, you see question number 6. This is our general questions only given, not exactly related to dual nature of matter actually. Cathode rays, nothing but current, electrons, related to electrons only given all question. But this topic, after that matter waves are there. So question number 6, you see. The kinetic energy of electron which accelerated through potential of 100 volt. Kinetic energy is what? Energy of electron basically, or energy of charged particle, charge into its accelerating potential, Q into V. So kinetic energy E or is equal to E into V. So 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 into V is given. Direct answer. V given how much? 100 volt. So it is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 17 joule. Correct, simple, direct answer. Question number 7, you see. In millicon oil drop experiment, the charge of an oil drop is calculated this much. The number of excess electrons on the drop is. Excess electron means just generally charge is equal to Q is equal to N into E. N into E. So charge is given how much? 6.35 into 10 to the power of minus 19. That is equal to N into 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. Minus 19, minus 19 cancel out. Correct? Then N is equal to 6.35 by 1.6. How much nearly? How much nearly it is? Nearly 4 it will come, na? Because 16 4 is a 64. 6.3 is there. Nearly 4 or 3.9 will come. 3.9 actually should be say 4 only, because 3.9 not possible, right? Electrons cannot be fraction. It's a 4 you can say. Clear? One second. Right. Next question number 8, you see. Cathode rays are produced when pressure of the order. Normally very less pressure will be present high potential, low pressure, cathode rays will be produced. So 0.01 mm of Hg, 0.01 mm of Hg it is. 0.01 mm of Hg. Clear? Question number 9 is electron gun. Electrons are accelerated by a potential V. If the charge is E, m is the mass of electron. Maximum velocity they are asking. Maximum velocity is what? Accelerating potential is what? Half mv square is equal to EV. Then V is equal to 2 EV by m root over 2 EV by m. Direct answer. The 10th question you see. In Millicon oil drop experiment, an oil drop of mass 16 into 10 power minus 6 kg is balanced by electric field of this much. The charge in coulombs they want to find. So in oil drop experiment, there is a mass they given here. Okay. Mass because of gravity mg will act downward. Right. It is balanced by electric field force. That is electric field is Q into E. Balanced means it should be same. So Q into E should be equal to mg because electrostatic force must be equal to mg, gravitational force. Then only it will be balanced. So here charge of electron is given E and m is given, correct? Electric field is given. So they want to find charge only, right? Mass is given, charge. So E is equal to can be written as, or Q is equal to m 16 into 10 to the power 6 minus 6 into G is 10 by electric field 10 power 6. So this is become 16 into 10 power minus 6 into 10 to the power of minus 6. Correct? So it becomes 16 into 1 0 cancel out 10 power minus 12 minus 11 minus 11 coulombs. 16 into 10 power minus 11 coulomb. That is 10th question. Students, remaining that 5 question is clear under the cathode rays. Cathode rays, basically remember, cathode rays is the electron beam only. Electron beam moving in a straight line. Like then the beam only we call cathode rays. Generally, these cathode rays are developed or coming out when you apply high potential difference and low pressure. Cathode rays has negative charge. So that is this experimentally the cathode rays did by oil drop experiment. Millicon oil drop experiment, that is. Clear? About these cathode rays is basically. Cathode rays has negative charge. They travel with high speed only, not with the velocity of speed, but velocity of light, but lesser than speed of light, but more only somewhat. And it has charge. Specific charge of electron is found, and he observed the electric and magnetic field effect of cathode rays. You know, in cathode rays, travel through magnetic field, electrons only. Electron travel through magnetic field, move in a circle path because magnetic field gives only circular path. Electrostatic force, when electron travel in or cathode rays or electron travel in electric field, it will experience the force opposite to it, so it will slow down. Deacceleration will produce, slow down, right? So electrostatic force will be Q into E. Magnetic force is QVB sine theta. That already you know. Basic equations only all are. This is about cathode rays and the corresponding questions. Is it clear, everyone? Any doubt in first topic of cathode rays? Clear, na? Or any doubt? Tell me, student, is it clear? So look here, next they've given matter waves, topic 2, matter waves are given. So matter wave, basically one is de Broglie wavelength calculation only. De Broglie wavelength calculation, simple. De Broglie wavelength calculation, you see. 11th question. So de Broglie wavelength, we know lambda is equal to h by p or h by mv, correct? Or this can be written as lambda by h by root over p square is equal root over 2 me. E is the kinetic energy of particle, correct? Then if charge in particle, if you take just now I tell charge particle means E should be taken as Q into V, accelerating potential will be present there, right? Direct formula given for electron, that is 12.27 by root V and 0.286 by root V for proton, correct? The remaining are there, normally we do. E is the charge of that one, or if you a charge particle you take, you can take it as QV. Or in ideal gas, E can be written as 1 by 3 by 2 kT. K is a Boltzmann constant, correct? So like that, different, but basically formula this much only to calculate de Broglie wavelength of matter waves. First question you see, the de Broglie wavelength associated with a particle of mass m moving with velocity v, h by p, that is h by mv, direct answer. First question is what? Lambda is equal to h by mv directly, because h by mv. A particle with has zero rest mass and non-zero energy and momentum must travel with a particle has zero mass, rest mass, but non-zero momentum and energy. It has a mass 0, but it has energy as well as momentum, not 0. That particle must be travel with what speed? What mass has, even it has particle has rest mass 0, but it has energy, means it is photon. What particle it is? Photon. Photon rest mass 0, but travel with the speed of light. It has a mass, it has a momentum, and it also has momentum is P is equal to h by lambda, and speed of light is 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second, and energy of photon is E is equal to h nu. Photon property it is. Simple questions only. That is equal to C. If de Broglie wavelength of proton and alpha particle are equal, then the ratio of their velocities will be. Velocities they are asking. 13th question you see. De Broglie wavelength of alpha and proton same. Then what is their velocity they are asking? Simple, right? So h is lambda is equal to h by mv. H by mv. So lambda is same. Okay. So velocity they want to find. Correct? So lambda is same means. So what we can write directly? So velocity v is equal to h by m into lambda. Correct? So v alpha or v proton by v alpha is equal to h is constant, lambda is constant, because they have given lambda is constant only. Wavelength of de Broglie wavelength, both of them is constant only they given. Correct? Constant only they given. So ratio of velocity is a ratio of inversely proportional to mass, because lambda is constant. So implies we can say v is inversely proportional to m only, since lambda and h is constant. Correct? So inversely proportional means m alpha by m proton. Alpha particle mass is how much? Alpha particle mass is 4 times of proton mass because alpha is helium, right? So 4 times of proton mass. So if you take proton mass is m, so alpha particle is 4m. 4m by m, mm cancel. So ratio will be 4:1. Proton to alpha is 4:1. First option. Direct, simple. 14th one you see. For the Bohr first orbit, the circumference is 2 pi r. Okay. The de Broglie wavelength of revolving electron will be. First orbit is given according to de Broglie's second postulate. I explained. De Broglie matter waves explain the second postulate of Bohr's, right? That is 2 pi r is equal to n lambda. So 2 pi r is equal to n lambda. So first orbit is given, n is equal to 1. Then 2 pi r is equal to lambda. So de Broglie wavelength they are asking, yes, 2 pi r. Direct answer. Lambda is 2 pi r. Correct? The energy, 50, next question you see, 15th one. The energy that should be added to an electron to reduce its de Broglie wavelength from 10 power minus 10 meter to 0.5 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meter. So energy of electron should be reduced, they are asking. And initial lambda is given 10 power minus 10 meter. And finally 0.5 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meter, nothing but lambda by 2. So initially lambda you take, finally lambda is lambda by 2 they given. So what will be its energy they are asking? Energy. So energy means directly can I write equation, can I use energy of electron here because mass of electron, energy of electron, or alpha particle means mass of alpha particle, energy of alpha particle directly. So for that lambda is equal to 1 upon root over 2 me. Correct? M is constant only because electron only given, only energy changing. So that implies lambda is inversely proportional to root E. So directly we can say lambda 1 by lambda 2 is root over the inversely, right? E2 by E1 inversely. Yes or no? Yes. Then lambda 1 by lambda 2 they given. Lambda 1 is lambda assuming 10 power minus 10. Lambda 2 is lambda by 2 because 0.5 is given. So I'm taking lambda 1 is 1 by 1 by 2. So 2 will go up. E2 only. E1 I am taking E. How much changing? Okay. Then 2 will go up. Then E2 by E1 or E root. Squaring on both the side, 4 is equal to E2 by E. Then E2 is equal to 4 times of E. Simple. Square if there is lambda is become lambda by 2. Inversely proportional is there, na? Inversely proportional. Lambda reduced to half value, then E should be increased. E should increase. How many times increase? Root. So 2 times reducing means, so root of E times means 4 times should be increased. Root 4 will be 2. 4E. 4 times should increase. 4 times increase. Clear all this for 15th question up to 15th question is clear, students. Simple formula only, based on this formula only. Matter waves ask, they will ask this formula only. Any doubts, tell me, student. Boys, is it clear, everyone? Any doubt? What 14th one, what doubt you have? 14th one direct only. According to de Broglie, when electron revolves around the nucleus from Bohr atom, Bohr model, electron revolves around the nucleus, right? In a circular orbit. So electron is revolving, means it has some speed. Electron revolving like this. Here nucleus is there. Around this electron is revolving with certain speed v. So according to de Broglie, every particle travel with a speed v. Definitely it has a wavelength which is lambda is equal to 1 by mv. 1 by mv, de Broglie wavelength. So similarly, revolving electron in an atom also should have wavelength only. So it will also emit a wavelength. So how it is emit wavelength means this de Broglie said that the wavelengths are emitted, number of wavelengths emitted in total circumference of the orbit, the total number of wavelength will be equal to the total circumference, length of the orbit will be equal to n into lambda, integral multiple of wavelength. Like total circumference of the orbit is how much? 2 pi r. Integral multiple means n into lambda. They've given in the question first orbit. So n equal to 1. So first orbit n equal to 1, 2 pi r is equal to lambda directly. Clear 14th one? Boys, is it clear everyone? Any doubt? Boys are not responding. Why? Next question you see. These are the question I told you to practice. Today I will give homework that you need to practice tomorrow and send the doubts by tomorrow 7 a.m. Okay? Like question number 16, you see de Broglie wavelength of electron having 80 electron volt of energy nearly. That directly you can do it, right? Lambda of that energy 80 electron volt is given. So directly you can use it 12.28, right, by root V. So this become 12.28 by electron volt only we have to take. The V should be taken electron volt. So 80 directly. So answer nearly it will come. Root 80 nearly 9, right? 9 9s are 81, nearly 9 it is. So 12 by 9. So 0.1 will come. 0 point something will come. Option 1 only is given. So that is B option is correct. Clear? Or normally this formula also you can apply. E is electron volt is given, H Planck constant, M is given data, but already we simplified, right? Simplified that you can use directly. Are you getting video? Wait a 1 minute, some technical issue maybe, or wait for few minutes. So they are checking what is the problem. Just wait for few minutes. Okay, right? Are you getting now video? So that question number 16, you see directly 12.28 by root V direct answer formula is there na, for electron. So by root V 8 is given, 80 electron volt only you need to substitute. So direct answer will get. Clear? So next 17th one, the de Broglie wavelength of particle moving with velocity 2.25 in 10 to the power of 8 meter per second is equal to the wavelength of proton. Okay. The ratio of kinetic energy of particle to the energy of photon is de Broglie wavelength of particle moving with this much of velocity is equal to the wavelength of photon they given. Okay. The ratio of kinetic energy of particle to that of energy of photon they are asking. So wavelength of photon basically h nu E is equal to h nu, right, or hc by lambda. So lambda is equal to hc by E, energy of photon, lambda of photon it is, right? Photon it is. Clear? And there is another particle is given. So particle de Broglie wavelength of particle is lambda by h by 2mv. What is given? Velocity is given, right? Ratio of kinetic energy of particle to the kinetic energy of photon they given. Particle to the so root over 2me. So me is the what is E? Kinetic energy of particle only. So photon energy hc by E. Particle energy is h by root over 2me. So they given this photon alpha particle and photon wavelength same they given. That means can I write here? hc by E is equal to h by 2me root. Let us say I'm take this kinetic energy because they confuse both are energies only, na? Okay. Okay. Root So ratio of K to E they want to find. Squaring on both the side, what will happen? H cancel out here. Squaring on both the side here, C square by E square, that is equal to 1 upon 2mk, correct? So ratio of K to E, what they given? 1/8 ratio of kinetic energy of particle to the photon of energy. So K by E square is equal to what we got? 1 upon 2mc square. Correct? H is also there. H cancel out only. C. Mass of the particle not given. Ratio of kinetic energy of particle to energy of photon. K by E square we got. Energy of photon is E only. Or you can say 1 by 2 mc square. M is not no. You should give what? Velocity, kinetic energy. Otherwise, if you take K should, because M is not known here. So we can write kinetic energy is half M V square, because V they mention here. So here we can write M can be written as K by 2K by V square. I will substitute there K by E square, that is equal to 1 upon 2 into M, that is 2K by V square into C square, correct? Yes. So this K will go this side. K by K square E square is equal to 1 upon 2 to the 4 into C by V whole square become. Or K by E, if you want, root over will come. 1 upon root over root 4 will be 2. Root of square will be cancelled out. C and the V will go up. So finally we'll get KE is equal to V 2.25 they given into 10 to the power of 8. So 3 into 10 power 8 cancel out. 2 is there here. Correct? So 2.25 can be written as here 1 by 2 into 225 by 300. If you cancel with the 25, 25 9s are 25. 1 second. 25 4s are 100 or 9s are. And 25 12s are. 3 3s are 3 4s are, right? So it becomes 3 by 8. Answer is 3 by 8. Clear? What we did, energy of photon is h nu, hc by lambda, and hc by e, and this is from there m value we substituted there. Kinetic energy of particle we have taken and substitute the m value, we got 3 by 8. Question number 17 is clear, anyone? Everyone, any doubt is there, tell me. Question number 17 clear, everyone? Any doubt? Is it clear? 17 question. Lambda photon energy hc by E hc by lambda. Lambda photon is hc by E. Particle wavelength is h by 2 root over 2 mk. So we equated that because they have given same. So hc by E is equal to lambda hc by root over hs cancel out. From there we got E square, some k by E square. Their m value we don't know. M replaced by kinetic energy 2k by v square. So replace there and cancel out. Finally, we got this. Clear? Any doubt? This derivation one already I told, right? During the class, lambda is equal to h by p is equal to 1 by m, h by, this is h by mv, because p is the momentum. Momentum is equal to mass into velocity. Yes. And kinetic energy is equal to, kinetic energy or E is equal to half mv square, right? Generally, this can be written as p square by 2m also. So from this 2me is equal to p square, or p is equal to 2me. This one. In place of p, mv you can write, or in place of p, root over 2me also you can write. During the class, I said all these things, right? Those you asked me, this doubt is clear. Derivation part they asked you. Right. Next question, 18th question, you see. The 18th question, you see. Question number 18. According to de Broglie's, the de Broglie wavelength for electron in orbit of a nitrogen atom is 10 to the power minus 10 meter, minus 9 meter. The principal quantum number for this electron is, they are asking. Principal quantum number. According to de Broglie's, the wavelength of electron in an orbit of a nitrogen is this much is given. Principal quantum number they are asking, but radius should give, right? Radius, some constant value of orbit will be present. Like 0.5 angstrom will take it. Basically 0.5 only will be present for, because first orbit, if you 10 power minus 9 hydrogen it is given. Wavelength they given. 18th one, you see, 2 pi r is equal to n lambda. They want to calculate n here. Lambda is given, but r is required here. R is required. Or otherwise, there is in atomic structure you may study radius of the nth orbit. Radius of the nth orbit. What is radius of the nth orbit basically? Radius of the nth orbit will calculate, but basically Bohr radius are there one. If you remember, I will say in atomic structure or atom chapter will continue. But time being, you take radius is basically in that Bohr, according to that 0.5 angstrom will be present. Correct? So we can write here 2 pi into 0.5 into 10 to the power of minus 10 angstrom into n into 10 to the power of minus 9 they give it. So 10 power minus 9, 10 to the power of minus 10 cancel out, minus 1 is left here. Okay. So n can be written as 2 into 3.14 into 0.5 into 10 power minus 1 totally. 2 into 0.5 it is 1. Okay. 1. Okay. and 3.14 into 10 power minus 1 is there. So nearly it is what should we come? 3 should come, right? 3 nearly, n equal to 3. Clear? N equal to 3. Point 5 angstrom if you take 5 in 10 power minus 11 minus 2 into 10. Three should come. They have to give the radius also, but three should get there. So I will say, but if you have doubt, I will check it and say that. Question number 19, you see. The kinetic energy of electron and proton is 10 power minus 32 joule. Then the relation between their de Broglie wavelengths is kinetic energy of electron and proton is 10 power minus 32 joule. Relation between their what is called wavelength, de Broglie wavelength. Simple. Kinetic energy same they given. Kinetic energy same they given. Lambda is inversely proportional. This one. So E is given same. So inversely proportional to root m. Lambda is inversely proportional to root m from here. So we can write here which is the mass is more, that lambda is small. Which mass is less, that lambda is more. So electron mass is less than proton. So we can write here lambda of electron is greater than lambda of proton. Correct? Electron is greater than proton. Question number 20, you see, de Broglie wavelength of particle accelerated with 150 volt potential is 10 power minus 15 meter. If it is accelerated with 600 volt potential difference, what is its wavelength? Accelerated potential they given, right? So what is the question here? For charge particle, lambda is equal to 1 upon root of 2 me. For a charge particle, E is QV. So lambda is equal to 1 upon 2 m QE. Sorry, QV. So here they given same particle only potential is changing. So 2 mu q everything constant. So lambda is inversely proportional to root v. So can I write here lambda 2 by lambda 1 is equal to root of v1 by v2 inversely, right? So lambda 2 by lambda 1, v1 is given initially how much? 150, and the voltage lambda is 10 to the power minus 10. Accelerated 600 they given. So 150 by 600. So it becomes 6 is cancel 1 upon 4. 1 upon 4 will be root 1 upon 4 will be 1 by 2. This is lambda 2 by lambda 1. Then lambda 2 become what? 2 into lambda 1. So 2 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meters. 2 angstrom, nothing but 2 angstroms. 10 power minus 10 is 1 angstrom, right? 2 angstrom is the answer. Question number 19, 20, clear everyone? Nineteen 20 clear, students? Any doubt? 19 20? No. I have taken it is inversely proportional, right? Inversely proportional lambda 2 by lambda 1 I have taken. So that is the reason here got root over V1 by V2. If you write lambda 1 by lambda 2, here V2 by V1 will come. V2 by V1 will come. So V2 will be 4, that is 600 by 15, that is 150. So root over 2 will come. So lambda 1 by lambda 2 is equal to 2. Lambda 1 by lambda 2 is equal to 2 will come. So lambda 2 is equal to what? 1 second. Acha, cross multiplied, right? Wait. By 2, right? 1 second. 2 into lambda 2. So lambda 1 is half that value. So lambda 2 will be lambda 1 by 2. So it is 0.5. 0.5 angstrom will come because 10 power minus 10 by 2. 1 by 2 into 10 to the power of minus 10. This is 0.5 angstrom. Correct. This because cross multiply 2 into lambda 2 is equal to 1. So lambda 2 is equal to lambda 1 by 2. Correct. You can change there. Change it. Okay, is it clear now? Girls, everything is clear? Up to 20th question clear? Anybody have up to 20? Any doubt is there? 1 to 20, any doubt are there? Or shall we proceed to 21? Question number 1, actually they should give a radius here. They should not give in. So I will take this question and then come back with that. Tomorrow just remind me, I will say this. Question number 18. Okay. The radius value should be mentioned or minimum value first orbit of Bohr atom is 0.5 will be there. So let us check it this one. I once come back with that. Tomorrow just remind me. Okay. Except that, any doubt? Shall I proceed to 21 now? Question number 21, you see. When momentum of a proton is changed by amount P naught, the corresponding change in the de Broglie wavelength found to be 0.25%. Then original momentum of the proton was. Momentum of proton is changed by an amount P naught. Corresponding change in de Broglie wavelength is found to be 0.25%. Then original momentum they want to find. Okay. Right, look here. Lambda is equal to h by p. Correct? So the change in momentum they given p naught, that is delta p, they given it as p naught. So delta p is basically what? P final or p2 minus p1 is equal to p naught they given. So initial momentum they want to calculate here. So first delta p they given. So the corresponding change delta lambda, corresponding change they what de Broglie wavelength found to be 0.25% they got. Okay. So delta lambda is given 0.25%. So normally it is The fractional change you want to calculate here, 0.25 percentage. Lambda is inversely proportional or differentiate this one basically. Or delta lambda by lambda is equal to delta p by p only will be present. Correct? So this is given p naught initially change delta lambda percentage you want to calculate, multiply with 100. Here multiply with 100 percentage, right? So delta lambda by lambda, the change percentage change they given it as 0.25 percentage is given directly. So this value is 0.25 value is given. So delta p by p is equal to into 100. So into 100 if you multiply, convert into normal will come, right? Percentage you want to convert. Delta p by p. So this is become p naught by initial, this is initial one, p1 you can take. So p1 can be p naught by 0.25 percentage is given. So 0.25 percentage means into 100 is there right here. So to cancel out one more 100 will come. 25 ones are 25 fours are. So it become 400 into p naught initial momentum. How we did is clear. Is it clear? Look once. I explain once again. 21 you see. Lambda is equal to h by p they given. So percentage change they given 0.25 percentage. Percentage change means, so normally if you remember errors in error chapter or percentage error calculation. So normally differentiation only will do. Normal differentiation, that is delta lambda by lambda, change in lambda by lambda is equal to h by p. H is constant only. And error calculation purpose, whether it is subtraction or addition or division or multiplication is given, same will be present. For multiplication and division is also same. So this can be written as delta p by p into 100 because percentage error they given. Delta by lambda by lambda, change in percentage they given 0.25 percentage. So this is change in value, change in basically percentage how to calculate. Change in value by initial value into 100. Change in value by initial value into 100, right? So change in value by lambda, this percentage was is given 0.25 percentage, correct? So delta p by p into 100. So this is come in percentage which is given 0.25. That is delta p is given p naught by p initial, it is p initial value you can say into 100. Then p initial will be equal to p naught, that is delta p value by 0.25 into 100. This is become p naught into 100 into 100 by 25. So 25 ones are 25 fours are. So finally 400 into p naught is the answer. Clear that? (21) is clear, everyone? No, 1 by P is not delta P by P. Differentiation of 1 by P generally delta X by X will delta X by X with respect to error concept it is. So lambda is equal to H by P. Delta lambda by lambda can be written as H is constant only because no change here. No change will come here. That's a no change in H value. Basically, if C is equal to A by B is there, then we'll write delta C by C is equal to delta A by A plus delta B by B will write. But in case of same lambda is similar to expression, if you lambda is equal to H by P, if you write delta C by C, that is delta lambda by lambda. Then delta H by H plus delta P by P. But delta H is change in H value 0, 0, this one 0, and delta P by P. That's what directly came from the error concept it is. Clear? Next. For tomorrow, you just practice the questions. 22, 23, you can do it, or if you're not, we will do it tomorrow. But look here, level 2 questions are given. From 24 to 52. (24 to 52) questions are there. Level 2 questions. Just see the everyone see the module. Everyone see the module. Page number module 3, page number 168 to 171. Question number 24 to 52 we have. Okay. Question number 24 to 52. This is you need to practice at home, homework. And whatever the doubts from these questions, you practice entire day today, up to night or in the morning up to 7. Whatever the doubts you will get, immediately take a snap of that and send it to the group. So all the photos you send it to me, or all the doubts you send it to the group, that I will discuss in the tomorrow doubt session. Instead of doing this 1, 2, 3, 4 directly. So once you practice your side, whatever the doubts are there, that we will going to be discussing tomorrow in doubt session. Especially these questions you practice, everyone you practice. Strictly I'm saying, those you send the doubt, that only I will discuss. Okay, whatever you send the doubts from your this question, that we will discuss after the regular class, that means in doubt session. Then all these questions, all these questions are depends upon matter waves and photoelectric effect equation. So briefly the formulas I will say. What are the formulas you can have in this question? Just now I said matter waves, all formulas, right? That only. Apart from that, photon related to photon. Photon energy E is equal to h nu or hc by lambda or 124. This is direct answer I said 12400 by lambda. So lambda should be in angstrom. You have to put in angstrom. So E will be get in electron volt. This is for photon. Correct? Next. Photoelectric equation, one stopping potential relation, kinetic energy maximum. KE maximum, kinetic energy maximum is EV naught, or this can be written as half m V max square. In this situation, E is electron charge, V naught is stopping potential. stopping potential. At which potential the photoelectric current stop? Stopping potential, E into stopping potential will be the maximum potential, kinetic energy of electron. From this they may ask directly V naught value they will give. From there V max they can ask, or V naught value they will give. From there they can ask what is maximum kinetic energy, direct V naught. If the V naught is given in electron volt, direct that only, right? So 10 volt is given 10 electron volt. V naught is 10 is given 10 electron volt kinetic energy. V naught is given 5 electron volt, because E into V only we are doing. V is mentioned, that some voltage, V naught voltage is mentioned, then V naught electron volt is the energy, kinetic energy, directly from this. If they mention velocity, mass we know, so maximum velocity you can find it. Then equation, photoelectric equation. Photoelectric equation we have. What is photoelectric equation? Maximum kinetic energy, Ke max, is equal to, or otherwise normally what is total energy which is fall, H nu is fall on the energy, that is equal to work function plus maximum kinetic energy. It is utilized for work function and maximum kinetic energy. So from this we can write maximum kinetic energy can be equal to energy fall, incident energy of photon minus work function, correct? Or this can be written as work function is H nu naught, phi is equal to H nu naught. Nu naught is threshold frequency, minimum frequency or threshold frequency. Work function, threshold frequency, stopping potential, all depends upon nature of metal surface. All depends upon nature of metal surface. Clear? Threshold frequency, stopping potential, work function, all depends upon nature of metal surface. If change, the values will be changed. For a given metal surface, stopping potential constant, threshold frequency constant, work function constant, correct? Then they have a relation like kinetic energy versus frequency. Some graphs we have like this, negative intercept graph like this. And the relation of stopping potential with the different velocity, different intensities, intensity constant, different stopping potential graphs are there. Na? These graphs, if you remember. This one type of graph, and other one is, this is stopping potential different, intensity constant, intensity different, stopping potential constant. These graphs question will ask. So practice everyone these based on this formula only present. Module 3, page number 168, 171, 24 to 52. Strictly I'm saying practice these questions everyone from your module, and doubts immediately send to me to the group. That doubts only I will discuss tomorrow. If you are not sent any question, then I won't discuss anything. Okay? So better everyone you practice and send the doubts. Clear? Is it everything clear, everyone? So before you start the doing question, just go through the notes or go through the formulas, whatever you have in your book. Okay, then you start. Only these formulas only present. Just try 24 to 52. Hardly it will. How many questions are there? 28 questions are there. Right? 28 questions. 1 hour you spend, you can do it. Or 1.5 hours you spend. Clear? So you need to spend the regular time in every day. Otherwise, you won't practice the numerical question. Because it's not a theory. You cannot remember that. So you need to practice only. Once you practice conceptual clarity got, then you can do anything. Clear? Number of questions if you do it, more concept clarity will come. Formula this only, but many different way they ask question differently. You will come to know how do we apply same formula in different situation. Is that everything clear, boys and girls? You are going to be practice these questions today night, and by tomorrow morning 7 a.m. you are send the doubts whatever you have it. Okay, take the pick of that particular question and send to that immediately. While practicing, whatever the doubt you get, you send it. Clear? Right. So tomorrow we'll meet again.